into Layer Cake Arc. It's going to be an Osis Esports, relative unknowns taking on last month's champions, Team Elektros.
I feel like they wanted the Kanji because they've just opted away from it, and this is a great ball attack for it. Mimmin can jump away out of this box if needed. No need to at the moment, just able to try and get a few swipes close to the hypercharge there.
Would be drawing the comparison between North America and South America. Vastly different regional metas. Looks like also a comfort brawler, I believe. Here comes the Nita. Really preemptive here. A bit puzzling for me to see so early. It's going to be useful for pushing that lane that has more bushes, so from our perspective it's going to be on the right side. Also acts as a pretty good tank counter. This I think is for a bull specifically. Like in case it is picked up now, Nita's the #1 way to counter that. You can't let them pick bull and Nita.
And bull.
In their mind, or we might have some issues here with Bilal. Looks like he's standing still as well to start things off. Possibly the player in mind that when we were loading up the draft has some issues.
A few moments later.
Actually, and it looks like we have a game, folks. This is the first map in this series, Vatic versus Tribe Gaming.
Here we go, fast splatter there from Bilal. Great to see him now back in the action, correctly as so. Big moves already from the Surge of Luffy, and that's going to be Ducky falling straight away.
That's really important. I figure Vatic just decided, well, he's going to get it eventually. Let's not play chicken about it. You'll see Ducky go super aggressive on the left side, the mobility over towards mid. It's what I think is going to make the Nita matchup actually a little challenging, is keeping track of the bull. But he's not hard to find now. Charges right into Diego Gamer and Luffy on the right side.
Here's some big taps. Probably not too far away from the hypercharge now as well, as Ducky pulls yet again. So probably going to have to make Eslivy rethink his positioning here. And now taking skies, and actually goes in the aggressive, the hypercharge on Diego Gamer.
Interesting, yeah, force him all the way up. In fact, push him in a Tribe Gaming spawn, and it looks to be profitable. So far, could be Luffy getting in from the side. One more shot will do it. Meanwhile, on the right side, Ducky's creating a lot of pressure, forcing RBM back. Has the super in hand, could rush up towards RBM, goes for it, it's a dash away.
That should be doable, the reset is there. Very calm and collected from Vatic.
Well, look how aggressively RBM is playing. He just wanted that super so badly, only to throw it away a moment later. At least he's in position, but it would have, been a little bit better if he could have helped his team out with some of this pressure. Going to, at mid, have to dash away as Livy in the sky, hypercharge style, doing so much damage. Vatic has all these gems once more. It's a takedown, you gotta be kidding!
Ability really now from Vatic, no dashes from Ducky, no ability from Livy to get some air control. Can they get this takedown potentially now? No, that is a massive steal, and Livy was very unfortunate. He couldn't really get away with what he was able to. A dangerous one at that, so if he continues to get fed from Ducky, I do worry as to how they'll fare. Hypercharge already going in, and that's what I'm saying with the Charlie. You've got to be hot on the collar for that one.
Well, and Bilal's going to have terrible, yeah, there we go. Just awful matchup there in close range. Bilal comes out on top. Of course, Ducky kind of throws away this bubble. Would love to have the super in the end game. Bilal also being kept back so effectively by RBM. He's got to be close to this super. Here it is. It's wide open, but no one has a super. As Libby knows he's not going to be able to pass this in, but Ducky might be able to hypercharge forward. Just going to go for a pass up to Bilal. Oh, and just at the 11th hour.
I was like heart in mouth wondering why Ducky wasn't popping hypercharge, so really reserving for it. Is Livy now going to chop just connect the cocoon as well? That's massive now. Ducky can afford to be super really aggressive, missing some swipes and now making up for lost time. And what a turnaround for Vatic! That was nuts!
Attic. What is their plan now? Is Livy still hanging on to that cocoon, who's denied the ability to use it? Also, Bilal has a hypercharge super. That could be pretty beefy. Ducky forced back by the Twister. Now stuck on the right side inside the stick around. Don't think he really minds. He wasn't taking that much damage. Livy now coming in from the right side. It's body blocks, like you said. A walk through for Vatic. It's game number 3 and set 2 headed their way to tie up the series.
He wasted it again, and now, realistically here, Tribe should be able to seal things. The map is catered exactly the way they want it. Luffy there, the hypercharge as well, going to town. And there's the wipe, as Tribe will stay standing at 90%. Ducky going to make his last final ditch attempt appears to be delaying the onset. And that is dominance. Tribe Gaming back in business. And one of the favorites in this competition falls in the quarterfinals.
The looks of pride, and thanks for 20K, says Diego.
Wow. Wow. No. Oh my God, that is one of the most brutal.
That icy gadget she has. And yeah, we now have 2 bowlers for the damage already with that Melody and Ember. Second pick now for Team Elektros. As you said, we're not going to question it already. Whatever it is, but we'll see what it actually is, and then we'll talk about it some more. Kaze has actually been the most pickup roller in NA scrims on this map, and there she is. So Team Elektros now going with something we kind of expected, so of course I'm not going to question.
Last month, we expected Tribe Gaming to resume their reign of terror over North America and keep that #1 title. The only thing that could disrupt that is the Kid Wonders on Team Elektros. They managed to do it last month. Can they knock out Tribe Gaming in the semifinals? Well, Team Elektros are already off to the races. They're getting pretty close to breaking open that shield. Tribe Gaming yet to answer.
Coming back in on that spawn side, Diego Gamer does get a tap. Not too much as RBM rolling in now. Some damage, this crack in the same spot.
Luffy charging in. It's an easy one for Snoy as he continues to hammer away at the safe. Memon seems to be almost invulnerable. Did manage to get that safe down pretty low. Now it's Dylan's turn to play defense. It's more versus Tribe Gaming as Memon pushes up. RBM going for the assassination attempt onto Dylan. It looks fine. Snoy, meanwhile, moves up on this double-pronged push alongside Memon, who only needs 2 more swipes to take it down. It looks good. It's game #1 for Team Elektros in a total shutout. Powerful hypercharge roll out, but I don't know if that was really worth it. Would have loved to see that on top of the safe, but he has to match the pace of Team Elektros, who brought this down to its final legs. 1 shield.
Oh, this is going to be close. Let's see. On the other side of the field, they actually get the damage as well. That's insane. Just not ready with that utility. And I mean, that's kind of the problem with this. But it was a great play from Luffy. Using that lollipop drop as a backdrop to then use super and then take that line in towards the kill.
Memon getting hypnotized by Ollie. That's a deterrent, but the thing is, if you never have to play aggro, then it doesn't really matter. If you have the blue star, then it doesn't matter. But Tribe Gaming finally get an advantage, and we might get to witness the second thing that we didn't see, which was a gene pull, okay? Memon also tried to bait out another gadget from RBM. It is going to be a mind game for as long as Memon has the energy for it.
It's a big lollipop drop there from Tribe. Oh, that's huge. Magic hand. No! No! That did not just happen! Memon was unreal. There's no way you should be surviving that. That is absolutely disgusting. I like this from Elektros. They're just navigating themselves up the map, but they might find themselves in a bit of a rock and a hard place unless they find Luffy, which they do. Now the stars are falling and crumbling down as Memon has the final say with 5 stars above his head. Absolutely ridiculous.
Piece of maneuver from Memon with a hypercharge to get 1 kill. Now goes for another one. Ooh, tried to predict the path of Luffy. Couldn't quite get it. Still gets the kill. Now on to Diego Gamer. The final nail in the coffin. Into the cocoon. RBM is going to try and save him, but he's too low on HP. Diego Gamer nearly makes it all the way back. Luffy has no choice but to collect these gems and move backwards. He's actually going to the side. He wouldn't mind dying here. Look, he has the hypercharge as well. This could be the biggest play. Now in with the hypercharge bat. Still defensive move from Kit, but it falls short.
That was really nice from Luffy, but is it enough now? 3v1s to doing, can't really go to the mid to get these gems and contest them. But 10 are with Luffy. He can dash around, but he's not the best person to necessarily have in terms of the aggressive. He needs his teammates to be able to protect him, and RBM doing his best at the moment. Team Elektros know they can get one from the mid here as well. Staying back was the play. The dash in from Luffy. Watch where the gem's going to be. He gets the gem. He's got 11 for Tribe. That's huge. They get the match. They get the set.
Memon and Snoy hanging on by a thread, especially Memon. He's one tap by this Lu, and now a hypercharge out from RBM. Looks like it could seal the deal. Luffy, RBM, the duo on this point will have to square off against this hypercharge. It should be Tribe Gaming staying alive just long enough to send us to set 5. I don't see any team coming out of this really happy with the result. Tribe Gaming, of course. Any loser coming out of this happy with the result, I should clarify. Preston forced back under spawn. Still, Snoy's afforded enough room to break open the important pushes. Tribe Gaming seriously cornered. In fact, and they haven't earned anything off of giving this position away either.
Yes, it's not looking good for Tribe here. RBM does have a super here. Hobo recipe, no connection. Going to try to flank around this left-hand side. The Diego Gamer is going to do his best to get a magic hand. That could be the very thing that could alleviate the situation until the rocket fuel of Snoy rules it out entirely. Luffy's going to fall shortly after that, and everyone falls. And Team Elektros give themselves the best fighting chance of making the grand final with that round. 1 away from doing so.
safer there now. He's revealed himself out of the bushes. I think the standout thing in game number 2 that let Tribe Gaming succeed was Luffy taking matters into his own hands, but this is going to be a collaborative effort between Diego Gamer and RBM on the right side, getting 1 kill with the magic hand. They would love to get this for the next round. Snowy's like, dude, just make it in. Memon says, please, can I just get a bit of utility here? Why did he not even shoot? I don't understand. He could have gotten a super out of that.
You're feeding over a lot of utility, but why did Tribe just not farm him? They could have just let him heal back up.
That's also true.
Like that was a prime opportunity, but I guess they just want a speed run.
That urgency could come back to bite them. That's going to be a curve from Luffy to keep Snowy low. Diego Gamer had the sight line, then Vengeful Spirit would be pretty juicy right now. RBM on his way to a hypercharge. That's the first kill on the Team Elektros. Tribe Gaming have the advantage. Are we watching a reverse sweep? Get too close to Diego Gamer. He doesn't have a way of avoiding it. Hypercharge to block off Doin. It zones him in on the bottom side. Snowy falls. Doin after. Tribe Gaming once more in the grand finals. A new era of North American Brawl Stars? Not quite yet.
Back on top, but a job that is still not done as far as they're concerned. When Tribe make the grand finals, they make it to win it. But what an upset.
To pick brawlers like Brock early into the draft on this map. We have on the right-hand side now RT being picked up, and I mentioned it before, just super solid on knockout overall, because in the long run, when the smoke comes in and you have a super, even a hypercharge available, that's gonna be free kills left and right.
Yeah, you become the wood chipper with all the projectiles, the blades surrounding you, but you have to hit your shots. So who's going to be the one piloting the RT? Who's the one that they can trust to hit those shots? Mortis is going to step up the momentum.
Super developed here, maybe just trying to rattle the Saber a little bit and get them out of this corner of the map. Zeus, though, unconvinced. Patchy also with a hyper, and he also really moved the needle. Big damage on Sands here, dangerous stuff. Ducky's able to get close, and here's Tyrant with that hypercharge. Free damage through the wall onto Bobby, and there's no way you're coming back from this one. It's labored, it's belated, but eventually Zeus.
Thing is off the table. It's plenty of combinations that they can go for. Zeus Esports, though, have gotten just a slight advantage over Only Realm so far. Has the hypercharge, Zimp, that is. Would love to stun Bobby, but he knows that Sands is ready on the right side. I can't believe Patchy managed to push back Ducky. Zimp knows that it's drive time. Bobby gonna be taken down, making 2 kills. Tyrant tries to fly away, gets 1 kill. Sands forced into the Shadow Realm just to stay alive. And these gems could hand over to Zeus Esports, only barely don't.
Yeah, that was nicely done there. Good timing off the gadget for Sands. Bobby with 4 gems to his name as well. Patchy's done such a good job at controlling Ducky on this round. And that's it. Only Realm, we're going to take the game away. The difference maker is the Lily, but everybody contributes there to a really important set win.
A bit of foreshadowing, perhaps. Sands lands no, doesn't land the mark, but he's got Zimp pretty low. Same for Ducky. No vision on the right side. It's a little complicated for Patchy, but when things are in point blank, he's able to land those shots so effectively. On the left side, a little torturous for Ducky. Is
most criticized for. Again, we'll open up the map. So this Rico just doesn't feel quite as oppressive, and Patchy is already eyeing off that safe. This is going to force Tyrant into defense mode, and Zemp flattened already. Sands is loving life right now. He gets to play the shade, and he makes it look awful good.
Sands also going to be outside of this wall, trying to defend against Zemp. Gets 1 shot, but not the next. Bobby now thrown to the realm, pivots and gets the kill. Patchy still alive at mid, has his super, has all those notes. It's looking good for Only Realm. What can Zeus do here?
Yeah, again, Only Realm just forced their way back into the map, and it's a double clap there for Sands. Really no coming back from it now, as that safe is knocked down to 50%, and Zed can barely get into the map. Bobby has a bullet storm, and he turns it into 10% safe damage. Here comes a Melody. Patchy with the gadget pop there. Ducky able to stay alive, but it's map control that's been garnered by that aggressive play from Melody. And now Sands will knock Tyrant out of the game. More safe damage, thank you very much. It is teetering on the edge as Patchy comes in with an extra bit of damage. Only Realm is so close here to completing the reverse sweep.
3% remaining. Sands, all he has to do is go forward, use his gadget, and get that last bit of damage on the save. A crit would do it, gets it! And that's Only Realm headed to the grand finals. It's what they couldn't muster last month. It's what Sands and Bobby couldn't get together until the final month.
To continue the hypercharge forward. Good retaliation there from Only Realm, and definitely like the way that they are considering this prospect. They've got to just continue to run this Frank down, really, and that's all down to Patchy.
Yeah, I like that a lot there. Patchy can get beat up all round as long as he hits a massive hypercharged super like that. All he has to do. RBM getting poked down. He's never going to get out of the corner. Luffy needs to stay alive here, and he knows it. Backs on up here. Super Diego Gamer has to face shifter ahead of it, but he's out of teammates, and, well, that ball's hitting the back of the net. Make no mistake.
Yeah, that's really nice from Patchy there. Ultimately, no super on the side of Tribe from RBM to be able to try to defend it either, so Gamer, a hypercharge coming in. RBM just flurrying himself forwards as well. A lot of scrutiny though, probably full HP. Sands as well, going to be there for defense, but it's just Sands on his own. Luffy's got the speed, gets the ball. Oh, Diego Gamer, lovely footwork from Tribe Gaming.
And now Shade hypercharge waiting in the wings. Luffy can go full aggressive here, and he's going to, after the Frank first, there's no super build up here for Patchy. Until now, he takes the damage in order to earn it, but Luffy really just runs rings around him. I like the breakthrough there from Sands, but he's bitten off a bit more than he can chew with that Shade, and it is an open field now. Patchy desperately trying to keep them in it, but RBM shoots the ball past him, and that is the set taken by Tribe Gaming.
85% and Tribe just so far behind. It's going to take a miracle to bring this back.
You're starting to see why so many teams are globally banning Pierce. If you give that over to Only Realm, Bobby is going to make your day pretty awful. 62% accounting. Tribe Gaming trying to get back into this game. Luffy low, but Bobby being picked off is a sigh of relief for someone like RBM now, who could make use of the absence of the sharpshooter to push up and be a nuisance, and these consistent lollipop drops on the left side might get Tribe back into the game.
This is massive. If they can stun out Patchy here as well for full hypercharge, they do it! That's insane! Tribe was so far behind. RBM had his work cut out for them, but that is a huge set.
When you got your back to the gas as it is, Patchy didn't even have to be perfect in that round. He just had to attract attention, pop his gadget, and scare the living daylights out of Tribe.
Land this pull.
Starting things off with the Magic Hand would be massive. Especially if it's not sort of like a Byron who could be nuked down before he has a chance to actually, either be more reactive about this. Diego Gamer's not really posturing that aggressively. Okay, he does flash it there. Here comes Patchy. Where's Diego looking, though? He's looking for the Byron. Unclear. Oh, Super doesn't quite connect, but RBM's seen better days. He is going to tick down, and it's Luffy on the Sands as Bobby was picked off. Not enough. Only Realm stay alive in the series. Built their way back into the game.
Big fat splatter from Luffy into the middle of the map. And it's going to be Tribe waiting really for RBM here. Patchy coming in, pops the extra credits, and no one there to stop it as well. That's a really poor start for Tribe.
So much damage. 3 damage at that. RBM now finally can trade some back of his own and does get the nice little knock, but while he's away, Only Realm don't stop. They keep going after Tribe Gaming safe. Storm is going to tickle that safe down to 53.
Yeah, not best alignment there from RBM on the wall. Going to choose to eradicate that damage booster quite quickly. I think it's kind of wise, realistically. If they do lose mid-control, then that 8-bit can utilize it. Bobby there with the mark onto RBM. He's really kind of struggling in this game. Sounds like the second break on this safe, and so far, Only Realm looking far, far better.
The safe itself being denied full value, and he's not even really able to win these 1v1s. Sen should go here. Video Gamer, though, low enough that one tap from Bobby will end him. And RBM, while waiting for his next super, is dead.
Bobby going to tap this safe, maybe just get the crack as well, so that if Patchy can finalize things, this can absolutely go to a final set. It's a hypercharged turret as well, causing more damage. Bobby on the right-hand side needs to be taken care of. There's a huge mute, but it's not going to be enough for Tribe Gaming. We are going the distance. This is how March is going to be decided in North America.
Can Only Realm roll back the years, though, and make it look good? The Lollipop drop gives a free blue star, so that's a good start for Only Realm, at least.
He knows it, doesn't hesitate to go back, gets some heals of Diego, and as quickly as that, you can see how that one single gadget just brings back all the control. Pick up from Sands, gives him the lead.
Okay, well, we knew Diego was going to jump away there. Nicely done by Patchy and Sands here. I'm saying this Sprout is getting worked on, and there's not even a hedge available, which is huge. So the fact that, Sands can cut off this main diagonal now and essentially deny most of the map away from Tribe is...
Spire on pick, and already we are seeing again Only Realm being pushed back, but this Invis now, as the nail goes pushing the top left-hand side from Patchy, is still quite dangerous. Now goes into the Invis, and just potentially looking to find Diego Gamer there, as it's still in the lead, extending in favor of Only Realm.
Lutica is quite low here. Only Realm defending really nicely.
Patchy using the helping hand of that lollipop drop. RBM TPing forwards as well. There's too much of a lead surely here, but only Realm. RBM going hard, but Sam just bobs a wall there as well, just to make sure that the message is heard loud and clear. RBM's going to need these hills, as is David Game, a big smash as well. Sans low as left hand side, but that's a great idea from David Game to get behind this and try to pinch it out, but Patchy there as well. Support is there, only Realm able to get some kills, but still the blue star now traded over though, and that takedown from Bobby into Luffy.
Just do now. Luffy collapsed. Patchy able to collapse. Can he dodge these shots coming in? No, it's a trade back, but only Realm still maintain that 2-star lead, and RBM can't push up past that hedge. Sans simply transplants it yet again.
Just 2 stars in and now 15 seconds left on the clock, and Tribe have got to go quite rapidly now with the hypercharge. There again gets a nice kill there as well. It's neck and neck. The blue star still on the side here of only Realm. Can they hold on for these last final few seconds? Sprout wall goes down. It's going to force Tribe all the way to the right hand side. It's looking good, and only Realm seal it. A reverse sweep, and they are your champions of March. 2 reverse sweeps today for them. Absolutely unreal. They are back in North America.
Oh my God. Patchy cannot believe it, and nor can we.
In for the Brawl Cup, I think some things can still shift. You have 1 more month to go.
Yeah, this is honestly really quite wild. Trope Gaming just outside of things, which is going to make going into the April monthly finals just even more exciting. STMN dropping down to just 96 points really as a result of not qualifying for this month. Now their prospects looking ahead to Brawl Cup really quite in jeopardy.
Yeah, you need a complete fall off a cliff from those top 2 teams.